Hi, it's Lisa Pennington, and I am super excited to talk to you a little bit about how we made the smell in really how to kind of make some of your own perfume and what to do with the bottles, but also how we did a nice smell for our wedding flowers. I have a whole series on how we made our wedding flowers out of book pages, and I really wanted to share with you how we made them smell like real flowers. I was a little obsessed with making sure these were all like real flowers, and one of the things I could do was add the smell. And so I made this bottle. I had actually made several for our wedding, our daughter's wedding, not my wedding, but anyway, I had my wedding and now she's had hers. It was beautiful. So this added such a lovely touch. So I'm just going to show you what we did. You can take a bottle. You can do this for your house. Like I will use the rest of what's in here over the spring and just spray it in my house as a room spray. But I'm going to leave the label on there because I think it's a sweet reminder that we used it for the wedding. You can use a bottle like this. This is a 4-ounce bottle. Of course, you can't travel with this one. You can also use, you could look up, I'm going to have links, by the way, to all this stuff on the blog if you're not watching this from the blog. This one is a little perfume I made for my purse, and it's super cute. You can open it up, and you can pull it open like this, and you can put this one doesn't have any in it yet. You can put some water in there, and then a few drops of whatever oil you like, essential oil, and you can name it whatever you want. I named mine Lovely, but you can name yours anything, obviously. Other things you might use, for the wedding flowers, I really liked this top. If you haven't played around with spray tops, this is called a throat sprayer lid. It's made for using some of the Young Living Vitality oils to spray if you're going to put like maybe Thieves Vitality or some lemon in your throat. If maybe you're just dealing with a little laryngitis like I was at the wedding, this had lemon in it and I could spray it. And it has the same misting spray as this, but you can just direct it a little better. So even for like the flowers, I could get that a little more into the bouquet. I'm going to show you just for fun some of the flowers in case you've missed all of it, in case you're here for the oils. These are one of the bridesmaids bouquets that I made, and so I would have sprayed these with a little bit of rose, and then I would have sprayed these with a little bit of something else. Probably, I think I was using clary sage and bergamot together, but I'm going to go over some of those recipes with you. And I didn't spray it a ton. I mean, just a little. It was a tiny touch. Another thing you can get, I love these little, I bought these on Amazon. These are little, they're similar to this. They're just less expensive. Like these might be around $1 a piece, and this might have been a few dollars for the whole pack. And so these are fun to share too. They're super cute. So I'm going to just share with you, let's move some of these out of the way, what I do with my bottles to make them extra cute. I'm going to make a label for this little guy. So let's bring in, I just want to show you a little bit with the Cricut, and then I'm going to give you some essential oil suggestions. Okay, we're going to open our Cricut Design Studio app. This is really quick and easy, so I'm not going to stay on this for too long because it's just a font, and so like super easy, but I just want to show you a couple of simple tips. Okay, we're not going to go into any of the images. We're just going to click on text, and we're going to make a really quick text. I click on text, and then all my font options are going to pop up. For this one, I'm going to use, I've just kind of already figured out, I'm going to use one called Lipstick. I can either scroll through or I can just search it right here. Lipstick lettering. All right, that's what I chose. What you want for little bottles is you really want a chunky font. You don't want a super thin font because it just won't hold up. It needs to have some width to it. So I'm going to put the word springtime. Okay, and just tap it, and now I'm ready with my word. Now here is my word, but here is the problem with it. I don't like the spacing, and this is why I wanted to show you how you can mess around with the spacing on your letters. Okay, I'm going to select it. Always make sure it's selected, because if you don't, when you click on any of these across the bottom, everything is grayed out. You're like, why? Don't trust me, I've done it 100 times. And then you select it and voila. Okay, well, these are all attached together. I can move them together under the edit option and then click letter space. And I can move them together a little bit. All right. And that's okay. But if I move them any more, these are going to be too close together, but I still want the G and the N touching. So how I'm going to do that is I'm going to go into the actions option. I'm going to ungroup these. And now each letter is individual. And what I can do, use 2 fingers to expand my viewpoint here. And I can just select the G and I can move it over. And here's what's really cool. If you can see, there's a line that's telling us where I'm placing. If it's lined up with the top, if it's lined up with the bottom, it helps me line those up. Now I've got my G moved over, and I want my T-I-M-E scooted a little closer too. So I'm going to select all of those letters. And on my iPad, the way you do that is just start at one corner and drag across all of them and let go. And now they're selected as one. And then I'm just going to scoot them over a little. There are protective backups. You see all the yellow lines, it's keeping me from getting them out of line. So I'm not worried about getting them lined up again. Okay, and now I have it the way I want. Now I'm going to select the whole thing. Now the last thing I want to do while I'm manipulating this is I'm going to weld them together. Here's why I want to weld them and not attach them or group them. Attaching them means that I can move it around as I work with it as one, but they're still seen as individual letters. So when it cuts, it will cut the S, and then it will cut the P, and then it will cut the R, and these will be 9 individual letters. And I really need them because I'm putting them on a really tiny bottle. I want them to be as connected as possible. One thing, or in this case, 3 things instead of 9. So I will weld, and that merges it into one thing, and it will cut it. Anything that's touching, if I had moved this over and touched the T to the G, which I wouldn't because the spacing would be wrong, that would continue to cut all as one. So then I send it to my mat. Oh, no, I resize it. You measure whatever it is, whatever little bottle or whatever you're using. This is about 1.5 inches. So then I can click on edit. I can either drag it and try to get it about 1.5, or I can click on edit and literally just tell it I think I did 1.4 on this guy. And then I have the size that I want. Okay, well, I have already cut this out and I weeded it. If you don't know what weeding is, you take a little picking tool and you get all the little pieces out from the middle, and you have only left the letters that you want. I don't know what happened to my 2 dots on my eyes, and I'm not really worried about it because they would have come off pretty quick anyway. I weeded it, and then I stuck it onto some transfer paper. Transfer paper is going to help me move my letters exactly the way I want them. Instead of pulling off the S, sticking it on the bottle, pulling off the pring, sticking on the bottle, and so on, I can just put it all on at the same time. That way it stays the way I want it. And then I'm just going to stick it on my bottle. I'm going to rub it on really well, get the letters really stuck. I always use 651 permanent vinyl. I get all my vinyl at this point from Expressions Vinyl. I'm not I don't work with them. That's just where I buy it. You can buy, if you're buying Cricut vinyl or something in the craft store, you want permanent vinyl for something like this and not the repositionable stuff. And you're going to have to argue with it a little to get that off. The E, I knew that E, he was fighting with me earlier. We were having an argument about whether or not he was going to play right. And he is still being stubborn. Just like a child. Or maybe that's a teenage E is my guess. All right, so then you just kind of manipulate it off. Keep going. The lines in my T are a little bit fussy. I imagine I'll be losing those at some point, but this is just for fun. There, and there you have it. Isn't that cute? And then I will fill this up with whatever. I will put about 2/3 full of water. The way I fill it with water, you're going to want to use filtered water, bottled water, and then I would put some bottled water in a bottle that has a pointed lid. you might, if you're not on my blog getting all the links, you would look for like an eyedropper bottle that you can just fill up. It makes it a lot easier. You can also buy tiny little funnels, but I don't know. I'm just kind of a one-step process. If I can do it in one and not use two, that's what I would do. So I would put about 2/3 full of water in here, just guess around, and then I would add some oils that I wanted, essential oils, of course, only Young Living. That's the only way to go. And I'm going to show you some of my favorite combos. Obviously, rose. Rose is my favorite oil of all time, but it's super expensive. I would not put just drops and drops of rose. This bottle that I used for the wedding had about 4 drops of rose, and then I think I used a little bit of clary sage, and I might have even put a drop of orange in there. Orange wakes up everything, and it's super cheap. So you take the affordable one and you let it wake up the expensive one. You're like, wake up, rose. Okay. You know what? You don't really need all rose. It's a strong smell. So but I love rose. These are some oils that I would put in one of these bottles. I love ylang ylang and clary sage together. They are amazing, especially if you want some like hormone support around your house, which with all our daughters, we definitely need that sometimes. And so, but the smell of these together is really nice. Also, the smell of clary sage and hyssop. If you haven't played with hyssop, it's a beautiful oil. I might add a drop of orange to this as well. We use a lot of hyssop recently, just working over in our bathroom. We've been tearing out a bathroom over in our little guest house, and it has a little bit of mold, and we just thought, oh, we want to really support our respiratory system while we're doing this, and we were diffusing hyssop, and oh, it was amazing. It smelled great, and it helped us just stay healthy. Geranium is another one that I think is super powerful. I always have a little sprayer. In fact, probably in the springtime one, I'm going to put geranium and possibly clary sage or ylang ylang. I don't know, you guys. It's hard to decide. But one that I really love with geranium is bergamot. When I wear these two together, I get a ton of, oh my goodness, what perfume are you wearing, from people that I'm around. And I'm like, oh, I'm wearing essential oil. And so then I get to share that with them. I would definitely try those two. And bergamot is considered a citrus, and it's another one that is pretty affordable. And this one, which is not pretty affordable, is Melissa. Okay, you guys, Melissa is so incredible, and just, it's like rose. It's got really high whatever numbers that the scientists talk about, and rose has the highest, and Melissa's right up there. Melissa is beautiful, but again, it's another really expensive oil. So take your little bottle and put in 2 drops of Melissa and 3 or 4 drops of something else. I would try with Melissa. Melissa has a little bit of a kick after smell, like an aftertaste, but an after smell. And so I would take something kind of calming, like a bergamot or a clary sage or a hyssop, and I would put a few drops of those in with the Melissa. And then you can always add your orange oil. I like a single drop or 2 of orange at the end as another note in all of my my body sprays. And so I would encourage you to make some oils if you want to spray some of your fake flowers, or just in your room for the spring. Make some cute little labels. You can share. These are great. These are so affordable, y'all. And if you put a cute little label on there and put a few drops of maybe hyssop and clary sage together. The thing about these, you're going to open up and smell them and be like, oh my gosh, I'm not sure I love that. They're very strong. So you just want a couple of drops, maybe like 4 to 6 drops total, depending on which oil you're using. Put a couple in, shake it up, spray it. These have a really nice misting spray. They all do really nice. Let's see if I can get this one if you can see. I don't know if you can see it. Like it's a very mist kind of a spray, and not just like, you know, a pump spray. So enjoy your pretty bottles, enjoy your springtime, and get yourself some of these and make yourself some perfume. And you know what? I'm thinking Christmas, Mother's Day, all kinds of great ideas, right? Be sure and follow me on the Pennington Point on my blog where I'm going to have links to all these little things. And check out my other YouTube videos about essential oils and making flowers and just enjoying your life. You guys have a great day.